Hello YouTube, it's William. Out in the backyard spending a Sunday whittling on sticks. I got a fire going, a little cool this morning, but the main thing is I'm going to cook a steak here in a little while. Like I said, if you can't get out in the woods, get in the backyard, okay? So anyway, I got to stick around the house, close to the house. So the next best thing, build a fire in the backyard, all right? Instead of a weenie, we're going to roast a steak here in a moment. But anyway, let's talk about some knives that I've been playing around with. I've been using this knife, and you can tell it's seen a lot of love, and well, the sun's going to come out, so I probably need to reposition the camera a little bit. All right, so I blocked the sun on my head. Big old head block that sun. But anyway, this is a knife that I've been playing around with for probably a couple of months now, at least 6 weeks, and I love the shape of this blade. It's just a smooth sweep, and it kind of curves. It has the well, let me reposition the camera. I'm kind of awkward here, so I can show you some of the attributes of it. Okay, so as you can see, it's got a straight, and then it sweeps up, kind of like a boning knife. Have you seen the Victorinox boning knives? And I think the Herders had a boning knife like that had the sweep up, but theirs come to a sharp point. I didn't like that. That was always penetrating stuff that I didn't want when I was boning and skinning game and things like that. So I dropped the point down a little bit. Let me tell you something, folks. This one is a very useful knife. For cutting leather and things like that in the shop, that sweep, when you're slicing, I'm gonna cut my sheath, but when you're slicing, you got your wrist straight. What it does is it puts all the force at here, and when you're pulling it through, it slices instead of straight down like most knives that has a straight blade. So when you're cutting leather and things like that, again, that's why that blade is upswept like that, is so when you're boning things, the force is on this cutting part here, not on the tip. So you're slicing through things, okay? If that makes sense. But anyway, with that tip drop down, you also have a butcher. So see how it's catching my hand there? I don't want to cut my hand, but see, it's trying to lift and separate that skin already. So it actually takes and moves your hand out of the way. Okay, see how the tip is already contacting the stick. The other thing is this portion here on a lot of knives is straight. This is more of a wedge, so it's for penetrating. So once you're penetrating, this edge or this slope is actually slicing as you're inserting the knife into whatever you're cutting. So as you're penetrating, this thing is slicing instead of just trying to use brute force like you would on most normal knives. Okay, so let me give you a comparison. This is a knife that another design that's similar but not quite. See how it's got this straight part here? Now this is a knife that I did with A2 steel. I've been playing around with A2. Not a bad steel, okay? It patinas nicely. It's a little bit more rust resistant than 01. Holds a great edge. Nothing wrong with it. A little bit of advice, folks. People keep asking me what's the best steel. What's it? All steel is good if it's heat treated properly. All right. So everybody keeps saying the 3V is the best. That this is the best. That's the best. If it is heat treated properly, all steel is great. Okay, so if you get a knife that steel is bad, it's because it wasn't heat treated properly for that steel. Now if you do lab test and everything on the steel, it's going to have different properties. Some is going to be more chip resistant, some is going to be more rust resistant, all this other stuff. But in daily use, out there just using it normal, you're not going to see a difference, folks. So if you want to pay the $200 upcharge for the premium steel of the day, that's your prerogative. But I'm telling you, you don't have to do that. The steel that's been around for years and decades has proven itself over and over and over and over again. It works, okay? My little soapbox there. All right. But if you want to order a steel that's got 3V in it and pay the extra $150, no skin off of me. I'll get the same profit margin either way. All right. So I'm just trying to save you a few bucks. But anyway, the 01 tool steel, using it daily, same comparisons as 3V. In my book, go back and look at through my videos and you'll see a 01 versus 3V video there that shows that. Okay, A2, not a bad steel at all. It works. So if you prefer A2 because that's what you're familiar with, we can do that. All right. A2 is priced comparably pretty close to 01 though. A little bit more rust resistant. Haven't done a actual edge retention comparison to the 01, but just daily use seems to be fairly close. So probably not enough to even say there's a difference. But anyway, this is A2. But going back to the knife design, see how this is, it's kind of flat here and then it sweeps up, and this here is a little bit wider. See how it's wider? I really like this design. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I haven't even named this yet, but I've got some more steel coming. I'm going to try it in D2 and see how thin I can get it. This knife is a little bit thinner than the A2. It slices a little bit better. It's got the little wider there. I like it, so when I'm whittling on a stick, I have a place for my thumb to go. I can choke up on this. This knife becomes a very short whittling knife. Very easy. It has the blade length if I want to get back here on the back and do the boning, the fillets, things like that. It's just a fantastic sportsman's knife. Okay, and this is probably going to be named something about a sportsman, maybe the master sportsman or something like that, because this one here is a game knife, and it's a kitchen prep knife from out of this world. Like I said, I've been using this design for about 6 weeks now, and I am thoroughly impressed with it. If you saw the videos from Blackie's Gathering, this is the knife I used throughout that whole gathering. Okay, is this knife. I think with a knife similar to this on a camp out in a controlled environment, I'm not talking about going in the backwoods in the backcountry now, I'm talking about in a controlled environment with this knife and a small axe or a machete, I think that you would be very well prepared for whatever you may need a cutting tool for. But anyway, this knife is coming, folks. This knife is going to be part of the lineup. I am thoroughly impressed with this knife. So this is another version of it that I tried, just trying to straighten that out. It's a great little knife, nothing wrong with it. Looks great, performs well. I prefer this knife though. Okay, so eye appeal, you probably say that's the knife. That's just eye appeal. Function, it's this one. Trust me. Alright. Okay, so stay tuned for the introduction of this knife with a name. I don't have a name for it. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I'm working on at this point. Just to let you know that I am not sitting around stagnant, just working on production models and things like that. I'm still evaluating designs on my own. I don't have enough to send out to anybody yet. I just got a couple of them that I'm working on. But this is one of them. Alright, so I'm going to show you another one. You've probably seen this knife, and this is the knife that I'm probably going to be testing out as a camp knife this fall. So I've got it rigged up with an Essie pouch like this, clip. It has a little sharpening steel on the end of this. I like this little rig. Just to show you what's in the little pouch here. I got a compass, just a directional compass. I've got this rook or rake, whatever it's called, Trekker. If you like the SAK Trekkers from Victorinox, check out Ruik, R-U-I-K, I believe. That's how you pronounce it. Let me see. Yeah. See? Can you see that? They use 12C 27 stainless steel. Fantastic steel. Love this knife. A lot heavier than the Trekker. So if you're concerned about weight, don't even bother with it. But just to kind of give you an idea, I've had this knife for probably 6 months and I've been using it. but I haven't done a video or let you guys know about it because, I mean, it's just time. But anyway, it's got the little serrated there for cutting rope and seat belts and things like that. So it's a great knife to have with you in a car, in an emergency situation. Slice that seat belt and get out. Has a glass breaker on the end. Smash in windows to get out of a car and in a water submersion or something like that. Just kind of give you a brief deal. I think this knife is about 4 inches. I'm not sure. Maybe the blade is about 3 3/4 or something like that. Has a lock, a liner lock on the blade, which I like that. Thumb opening. Has a screwdriver, has the little holes in there, can opener, a wire stripper. I'm just hitting the highlights on this, folks. I like this one a little bit better than the Trekker because it has a pair of scissors. I use scissors quite a bit in the shop, so I like those scissors. That's another good cool feature of this one. Now it also has, I like the way that this reamer or hole punch is a little bit better than the Trekker because it's set at a back angle, so when you're forcing it, it doesn't close. And I also like it better than the one on the Trekker because it comes out the back. It's just awkward for me, but I love this one. This one, man, it'll drill a hole in a heartbeat. Look how it's got that little taper right there, almost like a chisel point, like the WCSK. Wonder where I got that idea at. But anyway, that right there, I mean, it works great. Has a wire stripper right there, a wire cutter. See the V has cut there. It's like a chisel grind right there. So anyway, I love this little knife. It is a little bit heavier. This one here, of course, it has a corkscrew, which I see no purpose in that at all, but hey, some people might need to open a bottle of wine in the woods or something. This knife is model LD 42B. Excuse me, LD 42B. So this is the SAK that I've been using for quite some time, and I really like it. It comes with a pocket clip too, but I don't like pocket clips, so I took it off. But anyway, love this knife. This knife is great. Check it out. Do a Google search for Ruick. I had to order this one from overseas. I think it came from Germany, actually. But anyway, Amazon is where I got this one. Okay, they have a lot of different models. The LD series is the larger models, then they have the smaller models. So pay attention to that, all right? But anyway, this pouch is the SE, and I got this idea from Yellowhawk. Yellowhawk uses this pouch quite a bit on his sheath. So I got this. This is the SE survival pouch, and I got it off of Amazon. Has a little ferro rod, lighter, has a little sharpening stone, and I can't remember the name of it, but it is Easy Lap is the brand of it. I only found it at one store, really. So anyway, it's a small pocket stone. Love that little stone. And a small tin of homemade salve that's in there. Okay, that's what's in the pouch. But let's talk about the knife. The knife is what I wanted to talk about. And you've seen this knife before on other videos. I sold the B model, or the A model. This is the B model. And I think that this is going to be a huge, very versatile camp knife. I mean, it's going to have, it has the hollow grind up here for all your meat processing, your butchering, and things like that. A hollow grind excels at all of that. The problem with the hollow grind is it's very thin up here. So you got to watch that as far as your other chores, twisting and all that other stuff. But I took care of that. See this right here? That is a saber grind across the hump to this point here where your sweet spot is all reinforced. So as you're chopping, using this sweet spot here, chopping and doing your fire prep and all this other stuff, you have a saber grind to do all that with. All your carving and all this other stuff, you have a saber grind, a stronger grind. But then out here on the tip, when you're doing that fine meat processing, that fillet and all this other stuff that you got to do with game prep, you have a hollow. The hollow, what it does, it separates the meat so it doesn't stick to the sides. So it separates things because it's shaped like an hourglass, basically. So that the meat just falls away from the blade, so it doesn't stick. That's why a hollow is so great at game processing. So, but again, you have the saber here to baton things, to split things apart. So I'm really excited about this design. I think that this and this is going to be a great, fantastic Sportsman's combo. I really do. So taking nothing away from the other knives, they have their purpose. This is a different purpose, okay? So it depends on what your task oriented is. If you're going to go in the backcountry and you're going to need a survival knife, the WCSK is king, okay? If you're going to go camping and go hunting and things like that in a controlled environment, the Master Woodsman may be your thing. If you want a combination of a Sportsman's tools because you're a hunter and going into a camp, then maybe this combination is used for your fish fillets and your big game. Now I'm talking moose, elephant, things like this. But anyway, so this is a different option. Which one do I prefer? I don't know yet. I'm going to try this one out. It's going to be a tough sell over that Master Woodsman, let me tell you. That is still my favorite knife. Now, I have a WCSK in the truck, and it stays in the truck because I think that is the perfect survival knife, urban, woods, wherever. That is, to me, is a perfect survival knife. But again, I'm not surviving all the time. Sometimes I'm just camping and hunting. So that Master Woodsman, that will be in the pack. It will be with me. But I'm going to be trying these out also. Okay? Always expanding, always exploring. Never satisfied. You can't be satisfied. You have to expand your territories. You have to try new things. You can't get in a rut. Because there may be something better out there. I don't know. It just may be. But anyway, these are the knives that I'm going to be using and the shapes of them. I may try a different steel. I like the 01, but I'm going to try a D2 with this same profile, just because of its stainless. I may do a full flat just to give it a little bit, or even a higher saber grind. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna be trying a different type of steel. I love the handle. The G. Okay, people ask me about handles. Let's talk about handles right quick. I love G10. I love micarta. Micarta is a little bit more porous, and over time, and I'm talking a lot of time, it can get slick with it. It will self-polish. G10 has a good feel to it, but when it's wet, it's almost tacky. So I love G10. It's very durable. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I just love the feel of it. And so my first choice in a working knife would be G10. Second choice would be micarta, canvas micarta, unpolished. Okay, I stipulate that. Okay, my last choice would be wood. To be honest, folks. I mean, it's pretty, but that's about it. It's not that durable. It takes a lot of upkeep. I prefer hard use knives. That's just me. If you want wood, hey, different strokes. All right. Okay, so that's really the knives that I've been playing around with for the last I don't know 6 weeks or so. The hollow grind, that knife has been on my mind for about a year now. Ever since the Master Woodsman, I've had that design in mind. I just hadn't got around to it. I finally got one. I sold Prototype A on my website. If you haven't visited my website, you need to go visit my website because I have knives on there I'm posting all the time. One-ofs, that's for sale that is very unique. It may not be another knife like it in the world ever again. So if you're a collector, that may be the place that you need to be. WCKnives.com. There is a available knives page. Visit that. You will see some very unique knives. Okay. So that's about it. Okay. Fire's about burned down. We may be putting a steak on there in a little bit. And you guys get in the backyard, whittle on a stick, build a fire like I just did. And be sure and take a child with you to get the opportunity. And don't forget those plenty of Band-Aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again soon.